Bro, living in Eastern Washington is the equivalent of living in Eastern Europe. Like, no joke, if you compare Eastern Washington to like an Eastern European country like, I don't know, Czechia or Serbia, it deadass looks the same. Like, it's kind of uncanny how similar they will look, but trust me, if you search up an image from of like some like rural area in Eastern Washington and then like some random area in Czechia or Serbia, it's gonna look the exact same. Especially in winter when everything just starts looking depressing and sad, and it's usually like that until spring. But looking at the images from Eastern Europe, and then looking at the images from here in Washington, like at least the eastern parts, the Western Washington looks way better than both. But uh, looking at the images in both of these areas, it's actually trippy because like, why the hell does it look the same? Now, obviously, I will say there are places that look almost unreal and beautiful during winter in both Eastern Europe and Washington. So like Leavenworth in Washington or Budapest in Hungary. But Eastern Europe has the privilege of having more than five large cities though in their area, and most of these cities are actually really nice from what I've heard about them. But here in Washington, the only big cities that I can think of off the top of my head that are that are kind of like big cities are just like Yakima and Spokane, and both of them those two don't really hold a candle to some of the Eastern European cities. And also, don't even get me started on the rural areas of these places, cause like, oh my god, bro, it's crazy. I mean, I don't know if it's as bad here as it is in Eastern Europe, but from what I've seen, I mean, both of them kind of look the same to me. Like ever since I started hearing about what Eastern Europe looks like, yeah, they both kind of look the same to me. But honestly, you know, both of them can be extremely beautiful at times. Especially when it's not winter and when everything is actually nice and everything is like back to life. But in other areas of these places, they look bad. Like, trust me, I'm in Eastern Washington right now, so that's why I'm saying all this stuff. But hey, give me your thoughts in the comments, and like and follow if you guys want to see any more of these short stories. Or I guess they're not stories; they're more like discussions or something. But whatever. If you guys want to see more, like and follow. Bro, why is everything overrated now? Like, for those that don't know, I've been on a hiatus for like 6 months at this point, and between those months, I got to see a lot of different entertainment from a Michael Jackson movie, which was a 10 out of 10 movie by the way, Invincible, in like Wonder Man, um, sports like football and basketball, and music like Baby Keem and J Cole. However, there were some things that I saw this year that were overhyped. And I don't know why, but there was a lot of different pieces of media that were overhyped this year. And I can come up with like four examples of these things because for some reason there was a lot of them that were overhyped. Example one, Iceman. Every Drake stan on Twitter was hyping this album up, and I guess basically a lot of music fans were hyping this up because 2 years after the beef and Drake was finally dropping his solo album. But this whole album was just him whining. Basically, that's all I could get from the album. He was whining and complaining about 2024 and how he's like, you know, how he's basically saying like, f the big three still. Um, and like he also said something about him being in high school for some reason, or like something about the high school relationship. Like, bro, what are you talking about? You are 40 years old with a child and a wife. What are you talking about? And there was this line I also saw in one of his songs. I don't know if I might have to look for it on the or while I'm editing, but he was basically saying like f the big three. There wasn't even enough space in the kitchen for three anyways. Like, bro, why are you still dragging the big three, bro? It's been 2 years. Why are you dragging it still? Example two, the boys finale. Now I will say this ending or the ending to the episode was pretty emotional, and I may have shed a tear for Butcher, but there was just so much wrong with this finale, and I guess the whole season in general. Like there were so many plot points that they missed that they could have done better on. Like the Gen V characters, Ryan, um, Soldier Boy. I mean, there was just so much that they messed up on this season, and I feel like a lot of people overhyped it because they thought it was gonna be a really good ending to the show. But no, they just threw it away. They threw away the whole freaking um thing, or like the whole ending. But I'm not gonna go too deep into it anyways. I'm not gonna go too deep into it anyways. But yeah, they just messed out on a lot of plot points. Because the season was just basically a whole VOT Rising setup, if anything. Anyways, example 3, the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Now, I don't know if it was just me, but I thought I saw a lot of people, at least this is probably just me, that were kind of hyping up the movie. Even though I saw that there were some people that weren't really excited for this movie and were not so much, they didn't really know if this movie was gonna be good. I feel like I saw some people that were like hyping it up because of how it looked and like what they were gonna show, but like, they didn't really come through. The whole movie felt rushed, and the middle part of it was extremely rushed because they just kept throwing cameos everywhere with a bunch of Nintendo characters, and so I feel like they just rushed the whole movie until like the end, which I think the ending of the movie was like better in my opinion. Um, but yeah, this movie was, I guess, okay. It wasn't as good as the first one, but I feel like it was overhyped a lot. It did have Fox McCloud in it, which I think was a really cool thing, but that kind of led to Nintendo making that new Star Fox game. So I don't know. Example 4, the 2026 Super Bowl. Now this happened all the way back in February, so I just want to talk about it because I didn't get to talk about it when it happened. And to be honest, I didn't necessarily see anyone overhyping the Patriots themselves, because I think everyone figured they were gonna lose. But I feel like I saw people hyping up Drake May himself and his ability to play quarterback and being able to play against the Seahawks. They got swept though. They got swept by the Seahawks, and it was over by like the middle of the game, bro. Like there was no coming back. And so I feel like people were just hyping up. I think Drake had like put bet on the Patriots winning too. Like that's kind of why I got the idea of like them being overhyped, because like people were actually thinking the Patriots were gonna win the Super Bowl that year, or I mean this year. But the Seahawks won, which is a good thing. Which, for me, that's cool because they're my second favorite team. And speaking of that, next season Chargers, they're good. I'm promising you guys they are gonna do better. They're gonna have a higher win to loss ratio. Justin Herbert is gonna be freaking the best player on the team. The Chargers are gonna be a good team. I promise you guys. But yeah, that's all I have for now. Hopefully this video isn't too long, because I know a lot of people's attention spans on TikTok are short. So I'll probably upload this to YouTube too, just because it's gonna be a longer video. But we'll see. Anyways, like and follow for more if you're on TikTok, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Bro, the animation community is going berserk right now. They're going crazy right now over what's going on right now, and they're basically just going crazy over this thing that's been going on. For those that don't know, the director of The Book of Life and the creator of the show El Tigre, Jorge R. Gutierrez, who is a fellow Mexican, made a statement a day ago in which he basically said that he's going to be working on a show called Punky Duck, which will contain, get ready for this, AI content. He said that during a convention, I think it was yesterday, that for him, using AI in shows like the one he's going to be working on, and these are his words, not mine, these are his words that he said, is like, quote, having sex, and then they give you the baby. Which is a weird way to put it, using AI and stuff, but sure, I guess. This show, along with 2 other ones, keep that in mind, 2 other ones, are projects that are being headed by Amazon and their Gen AI Creators Fund, that are going to be utilizing AI in their content, and will be the first of probably many if these 3 are successful. Besides shows, also, there's another thing that's been happening with AI that has also come up, and this involves the voice of a famous actor, a famous person that you guys probably all know. So there's a company called 11 Labs that is going to be creating AI voices of celebrities mainly, that will be used for licensing purposes, that will be added to a marketplace for companies that want to use these voices in their commercials or stuff like that. And one of the voices that is going to be used for this is Stanley. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm sure a lot of you have probably heard about it already, but this is insane. Now, all I have to say to this news of AI and like all this stuff is what happened to the AI bubble popping this year. I saw so much this year, especially earlier in the year, that everyone was saying that the AI bubble was gonna pop this year, and like AI companies like OpenAI are gonna lose money, and they're gonna go down in business, and it's gonna be all over, blah blah blah. But we're halfway into the year now, and we're getting things like AI shows, basically, if you think about it, and AI voices of celebrities that companies are gonna be using for profit. They can license as their own for profit. Like what is happening, bro? And on the one hand, I'm glad to see that there's a bunch of stuff that's a lot of people are starting to take notice to this, especially in the animation community. Even after, because I heard that there was like a bunch of beef in the animation community before all this happened, and when this came up, a lot of people in the animation community stopped what they were doing and immediately started like expressing their disbelief in this, and that's a good thing, that people are showcasing their you know the fact that they don't want AI in their shows. But the unfortunate thing is that they're going to continue doing this if they make a profit. If Amazon makes a profit off of these three shows, and if they can profit enough off of it, same thing with 11 Labs with the Stanley voice, they're gonna just keep doing it, and they're gonna especially with Amazon, they're gonna keep making shows with AI, and it's gonna keep going, and we're gonna see more of it, and we're gonna see less fully human, like human drawn. I'll say that shows, especially like I said on Amazon, because Amazon's doing is the one doing this right now. And so I think in terms of animation quality and in terms of just like overall artistic animation, we're gonna see a little bit of a downgrade coming up, and it might be again in terms of animation and like hand-drawn animation, probably the worst we've seen in a while. Also, on the Stanley voice and stuff, shame on those who agreed to use Stanley's voice for profit and benefit. Like let that man rest in peace, for God's sakes. It's been 6 years, I think. No, 8 years. My bad. 8 years since he died, and we're already starting to profit. People are already starting to try to profit off of his voice and his name. Like, let him rest in peace, dude. I mean, come on. This is just crazy. And like I said, people are trying to like find ways to prevent this and like try to stop it. But like the way I see it, there are ways to mitigate an issue like this, and we don't have to do stuff like, or I mean, people don't have to do stuff like send death threats or threaten a creator's family. Like, if you're doing that to like stop that, you're just as no, you're worse. You're worse than the people you think are bad. Again, if you are threatening people and their families over this stuff, because I saw on Twitter that this was happening, you are probably worse. No, you are worse than those making the AI content. But yeah, if people really want this to like not be successful, I think the best way is just like boycotting or putting off, or like basically just like not giving them a chance to profit off of these things. Because I'm assuming if they don't make a profit off of these shows or the voices, then it won't work out for them, and they won't be using that kind of stuff anymore. Hopefully, the other big entertainment companies don't start going into this, because especially with the shows, it would be really to me it'd be really hard to see like a lot of these companies using AI in their shows and movies. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But like I said, it's good that there's a lot of people that are expressing their anger over this and their disappointment over this, and especially in the animation community. But again, let's not take this too far. Let's not push this too far. It's just crazy to me how we're entering a time like this now, and we're gonna be seeing a lot more of this soon. Um, But hopefully we don't see too much of it though. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed my little rant, and like and follow for more. Bro, for those that don't know, Tay Keith, a Grammy-nominated producer, helped produce several major songs you've probably heard of before, was found dead yesterday in his apartment in Nashville, Tennessee. Like I said, you probably heard a couple of his songs from like different artists, or like some of the songs he produced, especially with like the tag, his like iconic tag that he has on there. You guys have probably heard it before. I'm not gonna try to say it because, but yeah, you guys probably know he helped produce songs like First Person Shooter, Sicko Mode, Go Stupid, Kill Shot, and Rich Flex. And it's just crazy, dude, that he passed away. Cause like when I heard about that, I was just shocked to hear about the fact that he passed away. And all I have to say about this too is like, why are we losing so many people? Like, just a couple of days ago, another artist, Oliver Tree, died from a helicopter crash in Brazil, which was also hard to hear because, like, I did not expect to hear about someone like him dying. That's just so kind of crazy to me that it happened. And then also a couple other notable people, Gene Shalit, just like you guys have probably seen him before. He passed away this month from old age, and then there were a bunch of other people that passed away this month. And it's not just this. There's been a bunch of other events happening that have been going on. From the World Cup games, the Spider-Man trailer, the Knicks winning the NBA Finals, the falling gas prices because of the U.S.-Iran agreement, my 2 graduations, and of course the deaths that have been happening this year. This week alone has had 2 of the most unexpected deaths ever, especially this year. Like, if you were to have told me back in January that Tay Keith and Oliver Tree were going to die the same week as the FIFA World Cup match between Mexico and South Korea, I wouldn't have believed you at all. I wouldn't have believed you. Man, it's just been a crazy month, and this week has been one of the most weird, unexpected, and just overall crazy weeks. Yeah. But on the bright side, we are getting stuff like Toy Story 5 and Supergirl, and also other movies like Spider-Man coming out soon. And also, like I mentioned, I got to graduate twice, you guys. So if you guys want to say congratulations to me, you guys can say it in the comments. I'm also on summer break because I graduated, so I can make more videos now. So you guys are going to be seeing a lot more videos coming out soon. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I just wanted to make this small rant video. I know it wasn't much, but I just wanted to talk about this because like I've been hearing so much stuff. I just wanted to like talk about it, and now that I have time, I can finally make more videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Yo, so for those that don't know, a while back I made a video in which I talked about running start, and this was on my YouTube channel, so I'll probably put like a link or something under this video so you guys can go check that out. And for those that don't know, Running Start is a program that allows you to take college classes while you're in high school, and this basically helps with obtaining your associate's degree. It's a really good way to help save money and time if you want to pursue like a bachelor's or master's degree in the future, and that's why I took it, or that's why I decided to do it. But like my experience with it though has been one that like I probably will never forget. It kind of changed my perspective on school, and also kind of showed me this other side of college, I guess you could say, something like that. And I got to take a lot of fun classes, during Running Start, and this was also at like the local community college because we were only able to do it like in like one area or like one community college, and it was honestly a mix of stress and fun. So if you watch my video on YouTube, I said that I mainly said that I hated it because of or I didn't really like it. Hate is a pretty strong word. I didn't really like it because of my English class I was taking, which and The reason why I said that was because like it was a hard class and it was stressful. Like we had to write 1,000 word essays for an assignment, and so it was like, like, why are we doing that? But now that I'm officially done, and now that I have my associate's degree, I have to say this was, again, like I said, it was a pretty stressful time for me, but it was also fun. And after thinking about it, the English class I took was nothing compared to what I would take later on. When it came to like stressful classes, one of the main ones was pre-calculus 2, which was probably the most stressful class I've ever taken. I literally thought I was gonna pass with a C. In the end, I passed with a B minus. So now I get to brag to other people that I never had a grade drop to a C while I was in high school. There were also a bunch of fun classes I took during my time there. One of them was ornithology, where I got to learn about birds, and it gave me like an actual like bigger affection for birds. And then there was also a class I took that talked about salmon and their effects on the local ecosystem, society, and their biology. And that also kind of changed my perspective on a lot of different things, especially like dams. Like, again, it didn't really change, or it kind of changed my perspective on how dams work and like the effects they have on ecosystems. So I really did learn a lot in Running Start, especially during those fun classes, because those are the classes where I actually wanted to learn more about it, and like because I was really interested in it. So I got to learn a lot from Running Start. But yeah, like I said, pre-calculus 2 though was a pretty stressful class, but I was able to pass with a B minus. So like I said, this is an experience that I think I needed to be able to you know look at how college works in a sense, or in a sense, I guess. And especially now that I'm like done with it, I think I have a pretty good idea of how things are gonna go. Especially when I go to the University of Washington in the fall. Which, yes, by the way, I've said this before, but I am going to attend the University of Washington, which means I am a Husky. So, you know what that means. F the. I was gonna say the Cougs, the Wazoo, but I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, now I got my associate's degree, and next it's my bachelor's degree in the University of Washington. So, wish me luck. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.